Hello everyone, good morning. Today we're going to discuss about organizational unit, OU. We called OU in short form, and distributed file system, DFS. So if we have a time, we will discuss about DFS or else we'll discuss tomorrow. So coming to OU. OU means organizational unit. So what exactly OU do? It is a logical container which contains active directory objects. So it is a container. So I'll give you another name that it is like a folder, but we should not call folder. It is a logical container. OU is a logical container which contains active directory objects. What are the active directory objects? Users, computers, groups, and other objects. These are the active directory objects. Let me show you what are in the active directory use and computers. Those are objects. We call objects. Okay. So this OU is a logical container which contains active directory objects. It is also called a subtree. It is a subtree. I will show you how subtree looks like. So it is used for minimizing administrative tasks. Using OU, we can minimize the administrative tasks. Okay, how we are going to minimize the administrative task, we will going forward, we will discuss. Okay, so simply I can say that, for example, if you want to do any manual tasks, like if you want to apply any policies, so you can apply policies on OUs, so that so that the administrative tasks will be minimized. Instead of doing manual, you can apply policies. So by applying policies, the task will be automated. You don't need to do anything. The policy will do. So you can apply policies on OUs. Hence, the administrative tasks will be minimized. It is used for organizing and managing the active directory objects. So using OU, we can organize and managing active directory objects. It is used for delegating control to one or more users. So we can delegate the permissions. Delegate means, for example, in a school, usually we're all knew that. So there is a class leader. So teacher delegates some tasks to class leader. For example, maintain the silence in the class. So the teacher is delegating, means giving authority, giving permission uh, to class leader. That is called delegating. Okay. So collecting papers. Okay. Um, mm, uh, and interacting with the students for any for anything. That is, so teacher delegating some permissions, some tasks to class leader. That is called delegating. Here it is used to delegate control. So teacher having a full control. So from in his control, um, uh, teacher used to give some controls, some authoritative tasks to class leader. So likewise, we can delegate the control to one or more users. Using organizational unit, we can delegate control to one or more users. So usually administrator used to do everything. Administrator has a full control, but we are delegating some permissions to users in some normal users. That is called delegating. So what is delegation of control? The process of decentralizing management of organization unit. So if you see in our constitution, so CM, PM. So that is the top. Next level, CM used to give some decentralize the management. So permissions, next DZPCS. So ministers, MLAs. So these are all structure of political structure. In politics, we see the structure where decentralize the tasks. So one man cannot do all the tasks, right? So that means decentralizing the tasks so that so so that everyone can work effectively. So likewise here, the process of decentralizing, what is delegation means? Decentralizing management and organizational units, assigning management of an organizational unit to another user or a group. So assigning management of an organizational unit to another user or group. So we can delegate, we can give tasks to next level people. Okay, is administration by distributing routine administrative tasks to another user or a group. So administrator used to give some routine administrative tasks to normal users so that administrator uh, uh, get reduce his hectic work, and administrator have uh, a time to spend on another tasks. So by distributing, by giving the routine tasks to normal users also work like a administrator, but only administrator used to give only few tasks, not all the tasks. So ultimate power, have PM having ultimate power. So next, home minister only it's take care of the defense, right? Police department. So like CM or PM, how they are distributing the task to next level people. That means distributing. Uh, uh, that means uh, decentralizing the tasks. Decentralizing the tasks. Next, group. What is group? Group, it is an object of Active Directory used for applying permissions and distributions of emails to its members. So groups means, so for example, without groups in real-time world, we cannot work. We cannot work. How? Why? Means, for example, if you want to send an email to group of people, you cannot list down all the names and you cannot send, because if you want to send 1,000 people, you need to write down 1,000 email in the two, right? Two CC we see in the Gmail, right? So you cannot list down all the email IDs on each user email ID, and you can to send the email, right? So you cannot list down, if it is a 10,000 email IDs you want to send an email, then so coming to groups, and users are not permanent. And users are not permanent. Groups are permanent to the organization. How? For example, user join an organization so that he will get an email ID and username, password, and laptop to log in and work. If he left the company, he or she left the company, then what will happen? The administrator used to disable the email ID, right? So many teams are working in the organizations: development team, QA team, uh, and administrative team, HR team, accounting team. So there are many operations team. Many teams are working. So in the real time, we used to send an email to groups, not individuals. Individuals are not permanent. They may join and they may left the organization, right? So groups are permanent. And for example, groups are permanent and users are not permanent. So that is the reason organizations are encouraging to use groups, not group users, not users, because users, they will join and they'll go after some days. So groups are permanent. Okay. And also if you want to give a permissions, once, let me explain first. Okay. So this is 10,000 users. 10,000 users. So 10,000 users in the 10,000 users. This is 2. So in 2 you need to mention 10,000 users, right? And this is subject. Subject. Hello all. Some email. I'm just trying to. Okay. And body email. So some on 30th of May will be holiday to cast vote. So this is what company convey to employees. This is the email, small email, just okay. So if the email sent to all 1,000 users, 1,000 users means here you need to mention 1,000 email IDs, right? So in 1,000 in 1,000 users, I mean 10,000 users here, 10,000 users you need to list down. To list down the 10,000 users email ID, you may take 3 or 4 days, 5 days to list down, to write all the email IDs, 10,000 email IDs, right? And this mail may not go to all the 10,000 users, may bounce the emails because some users may left the organizations. Some users may be disabled. Maybe recently they left the organizations. So mail may be bounced due to some reasons. And 10,000 users, if you send an email, your mission will be take a lot of time to send email. So maybe get hang, maybe not respond. So, and that is the reason we create groups. Okay. Employees. Okay. So I created a group called employees. Okay. So to the group, I will add this 1,000 users to this group so that I can use the group name like employees, so that this mail will send to 10,000 employees. So you no need to list down 10,000 email IDs here. Just you simply put the group name and send this email. Okay. So that is the reason groups are permanent and users are not permanent. They may left the organization at any point of time. And if any user join in the organization, for example, user 1 joined in our organization. So we will add this user to this group. So who are joining, those users can be added to this group so that this group will have a new user's email ID. If you want to remove the user, if you remove the user, automatically the user will be removed from the group as well. Okay. Okay. This is one scenario. Second scenario. There is a data folder. There is a data, employees data. Okay, employees data. This is a folder, employees data folder. So to give the permissions on the employees data folder, you need to give 10,000 users. Each user you need to give permissions, and 10,000 times you need to give the permissions. For each user, you need to give the permissions, right? So, and the users, as I said, users are not permanent. They may go, they may left the organization, so that the permissions will be stay forever. So instead of that, companies, organizations always use permissions. You give permissions to groups, so that whoever in the group, whoever in the group, they will get this employees data access. So if you give the permissions on any folder, on any data to the employees group, employees, whoever the employees group having those users will get the access. See, so that is the reason in organizations never ever use uh, users to give permissions or to send in emails, mass emails and all. So groups are very important, and the group name will not change. Okay, and most of the cases, and the users may change. Users, new employees will come and old employees will go. So come and go will happen in the users list, but group name will not change. Group will be forever. It is a permanent. So that is the reason organizations use it to give permissions to groups only, not to individual users. Okay, so there are two types of groups: security group, distribution group. So security group used to give the permissions. See, for example, we need to create two types of groups. One is security group, and another is distributed group. Distributed group. So distributed group uses for email group, for emails, only for emails. Okay, this is for permissions on data. So security group uses for permissions, distributed group uses for emails. Okay, so let me show you the organization OU. Control Alt Del. Go to tools, activity use in computers. See, users is the organization, the OU, organization unit. See, these are all OUs. These are all OUs. That is called, we called subtree. That is reason we call subtree. So to create an organization unit, okay, right click, new task, organization unit. This is here you can create organization unit. So users is the organization unit, OU. See, OU, this users OU having objects. Objects means users, groups, computers. These are all objects. Activity objects means, yeah, this is also object. Everything you see in the active directory are objects. Okay, so to create organization unit OU, right click on it, go to organization unit. So organization unit, let me sales. I'm just giving sales or HR, IT, any, this is IT. See, IT. So you can move users or you can create users here. Test one. Click next. So you can create users here. So what are the permissions? If I apply any policies on IT, those policies will be applied the users which are in IT OU. And also you can create groups. So right click on it, new group. Here, admins group. So you want to create a security group or distributed group? Group type. So I want to create a security group. Security group is users to give permissions. Admins. So you can add members here. Add. So test one. Check name. So now you can add users to the group like this. So whatever the permissions you are giving to admins group, those permissions will get the users which are part of this group. Okay, that is users, groups, OUs. So any questions so far? So any questions?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Yeah, coming to one moment. Okay. So coming to DFS, distributed file system. So what is DFS? So in the name itself, we can understand what is DFS, distributed file system. So DFS is a service or a method or a component to distribute the files. Distribute the files. So DFS incorporate technologies that provides fault tolerant access to geographically dispersed files. DFS namespace enable virtual representation of shared folder structure. So DFS namespace allows administrator group shared folder that are located in a different servers into one or more logical structure namespace. Each namespace appears to users as a single shared folder with a series of subfolders. The subfolders typically point to the shared folders that are located on various servers in multiple geographical sites throughout the organization. So in simple terms, I will explain. So if you read this, you cannot understand DFS. Okay. So this is the server. Okay. Server one. Server one. I have a 100 GB. 100 GB hard disk here. 100 GB hard disk. So data. I stored the data here. Data 99 GB. So now I need to upgrade immediately. I need to upgrade the hard disk immediately. Otherwise, the disk will be out of space, right? So data is 99 GB. Now free space is 1 GB. So now I need to upgrade the hard disk. So either if it is a chance to upgrade, we can upgrade, or else we'll add. This is let's say this is hard disk. We need to add 500 GB hard disk. Okay. We need to add the 500 GB hard disk and need to move the data to 500 GB. So this is how we usually do. Okay. But here, this is a one scenario. Okay. So again, after some years, the data used 499. Data is grown, increased to 499. Again, I need to insert 1000 GB and add, transfer the data to 1000 GB. So this is usually doing the organizations. See, when the administrators giving order, I mean, there is a team is there who is purchase the things, inventory. So every time we need to raise invoice to buy a new hardware, right? So I mean, management fed up with this complete main purchase orders. If getting frequent purchase orders, management get irritated. You guys are not managing well. You are spending a lot of time with us. So they may question you as admin, right? As admin, so you need to escalate the situations, and they will say that they will in terms of they will say you are spending a lot of time on the infrastructure. So then another scenario, they will say in the management also they will have a sound technical, in technical they are very sound. So they will say, they will question you that we have many servers. Let's say we have 3 servers. Okay. So 3 server, 2 3 4 4. So each server here 1000 GB. Okay, each server having 1000 GB hard disk. But here uses here data here 10 GB. Here maybe 20 GB data. Here maybe 25 GB data. But rest of the disk space or the rest of the disk space is idle, not using, but you are purchasing the disk space for this server. Why can't you use this space instead of buying a new hard disk? New hard disk, why can't we use these spaces? Because in these servers lot of space is available, but it is idle. We are not using the space. Okay, this company resource are getting wasted. So we invested 3000 GB disk, but we are using 10, 20, 25, and rest of the hard disk is idle, empty, not any no data in that. But the resources are getting wasted here. We spend a lot of amount, but here not used properly. Resources are not using properly, and here you overused. You are not using, and here overused. So using DFS, distributed file system, using DFS, what are the spaces available here? We can map to DFS. We can map it to DFS. And here we will create a folder here. That means DFS root. We will create a DFS root here. Under the DFS root, one second. So DFS root here. This is DFS root. So under the DFS root, we can create a data. So that so we can, one second. Here the space is not one second. Okay. Under the DFS root, under one moment. My God, I think. Okay, no problem. So under the DFS root, we can create a shared folders. So user never know that where the data is going. So user only can store the data, but the data is going to where he never bothered. Where the user ultimately see, yes, my data is there or not, right? So what the DFS root? DFS root will store the data, some data to here. Some data to here. Okay. And some data to here and some data to here. So here, for example, in a shared folder, Ram is a folder, Sita is a folder. Okay. And Lakshman is a folder. Okay. Let's say these are the folders. So users here, let's user computer. This is the client computer. So user usually access the DFS root. So he will see Ram, Sita, Lakshman folders, but Ram folder stored here, and Sita folder stored here, and Lakshman folder stored here. Okay, but for client computer, for users, they see all in one under one DFS root. So the users feel that all the folders, 3 folders in one place, but basically they're not in one place. They're in a different places. So hence, using DFS, we can effectively use the disk space from the various missions. So hence we can effectively use the resources. We shouldn't buy a new resources. I mean, new hard disk. We can use the space from the existing servers using DFS. That is called DFS. Read this theory part, you will get understand. Okay, so DFS-R multi-master replication engine. So that if the client computer storing the data to RAM, so what RAM folder stored here? Okay, so the synchronization will happen. That is called DFS-R. Synchronization from here to here. Okay, otherwise if no synchronization, what will happen? So data will mismatch and data will not shown to the client computer. So client computer fills all the folders in one server in DFS root, but actually the data in different places. So these folders stored in this particular servers. Okay. So multi-master replication engine that synchronize files between servers for local and WAN network connections. DFS replication supports replication scheduling, bandwidth throttling, and uses remote differential compressions. RDC to update only the portion of files that have changed since the last replication. You can use DFS replication in conjunction with the DFS namespace or as a standalone file replication mechanism. So DFS-R means replication. If the data is not replicating, what will happen? So the client computer cannot see the updated data. Okay, so DFS synchronization should happen. Okay, coming to resume. Okay, now let's get into lab. Any questions so far? Any questions in theory?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, good. So now, as I shown you that how to create an organization unit. Okay, let me create one more time. So to create organization unit, simple. I created IT. Now let me click OU, organizational unit, sales. Okay, sales. So here you can create groups, users. Okay, let me create a users like S1. Giving password. So another user, S2. So let me create one more user, S3. Password mismatch. Okay, so like we can store objects in organization unit. Organization unit means it is a container. It is a logical container. It is a logical container. So how we are storing the files into the folders, right? So means we are segregating the data into folders so that, okay, this HR data in HR folder, sales data in sales folder, IT data in IT folder. So how we are segregating the files into the into folders by using folders by segregating the data, right? So likewise here, organizational unit is a container which we can segregate the objects, so which we can apply. For example, I want to apply policies on sales employees, so you can apply on this container, organizational container. If you want to apply policies on IT employees, so you can apply here on IT organizational unit. So if you want to apply a particular group of people, if you want to apply policies on a particular group of people, you can create an OU, organizational unit, and add the users to organizational unit and apply the policies on that, so that the policies will apply to the listed objects, users in that particular organizational unit. Okay. So coming to delegation. So how to give the delegation permissions? Delegation means how the teacher used to delegate permissions, delegation, give rights to class leader. Rights means make the class silent, pin drop silent. So that is a right giving teacher to class leader. Likewise, usually administrator used to create users, create groups, create organization unit. He can do anything, right? So now the administrator, how delegating some permissions to normal users. So normal users cannot create anything. Okay. Normal users cannot create anything. For example, if you want to check, ARN is a normal user, right? Oh, I'll show you where is okay. And in users organization, ARN is there. Yeah. Okay. ARN user. So ARN user, let's log into ARN or any S1 or anything. Sign out. ARN. Only see, ARN cannot even open this. So he cannot open Active Directory as well. He cannot open Active Directory. Administrator. See, I'm giving administrator user. So administrator is a super user. Even see, server manager. Even ARN is unable to open this server manager as well without administrator. So now I'm giving control to normal users to create users. Okay. Test 1, 2, 3. Let me check, because this will, I think, because I gave the administrator. See, I gave the administrator. See, this user created by the administrator, not ARN, because I gave administrator, right? So even without the administrator, ARN cannot open the server manager, right? Yeah. Now let me sign out. Administrator. Now let me delegate permissions. Active Directory use and computers. I will move the ARN user. Move. You can move the user from one container to another container. See, this is the tree. So ARN user is under users container. Now I will move to sales. See, now here. Likewise, if you want to, for example, you want to move from here to users, test 1. You can move, right click on it, move users. So test one. So you can move the objects from one OU to another OU. Okay. Now let me see. Only now administrator can create a users and groups. No one can create, right? So now I'm delegating permissions. Delegate control. Click next. Now we can give the delegating permissions. Some permissions to users. Okay. Now ARN. I'm delegating to, here you can delegate permissions to groups and as well as users. Okay. So I'm just giving delegating permissions to ARN. Okay. Okay. Click next. So what permissions you want to delegate? See, these are all can do by the administrator, but normal users cannot perform these tasks. But administrator delegating some tasks to ARN now. So what are the tasks you want to delegate? So I want to delegate create, delete, and manage user accounts, and reset passwords and force password changes to next login. So I'm just delegating to these two tasks to ARN user. Click next. Finish. Done. Now let me log in with ARN. Before I wasn't creating using ARN user account, right? Now let me try with ARN. Leave it. Activity, use and computers. So after before delegating, okay, give ARN, okay. Yeah, see. Now right click on it. Let me create, right click on it. User. Yes, 4. Yes, 4. Now I'm able to create. See, this is how delegating permissions. For example, I just gave the permissions to create a, let me create a group. Okay. Test 345. See, Windows cannot create test 34 because access denied. See, here administrator gave delegations to create users only, not groups. If you observe, when we give permissions to ARN user to create only users, not groups. We administrator delegate permissions only to create a users, not groups. So if you try to create a groups, this is what error you will get it. So class teacher told to class leader to make the classroom silence, not to teach lessons, right? So like here, only administrator gave delegations to create users, not to create groups and not to create an organizational unit. Okay. So this is how delegation will work. Next, creating groups. So I already shown you, but let me administrator. Let me show you again. Administrator. So groups are very important in the real time. Organization use groups. Security compliance. If you give any user, if you give permissions to users, that is a complaint issue because users are not permanent. See this S1 join here after 2 years or 1 year, he may left the organization, but groups are permanent. Groups are permanent. See, this admin group is permanent, never change. People will keep adding here and keep deleting from here, but admin group is forever. So that is the reason we need to give permissions to groups, not users. So every time the user, if the user come and go, right? This will happen in any organization. So every time when the user left the organization, you need to remove all the permissions. When the user when the employee join in the organization, you need to give the permissions. So to giving permissions and revoking permissions, removing permissions, it is a big task to administrator, right? So that is the reason if the user join, for example, in IT, a Windows admin join, simply we add the user here so that what are the permissions have the admins will get the new user, new employee. Okay. And and here you can, as I said, you can add the users here. For example, if you want to add ARN, you can add ARN. So the user may be in a different OUs, but still you can add users to group. Okay, maybe the users in different OS, but still you can add the users in groups. See, the test one is in different OU, organization unit. ARN in a different organization unit, and J in a different organizations. See, let's see, J is here, J is here, ARN in sales. Okay, and test one is here. So users may in different places, but wherever the group is there, if you add to the group, the users comes under this group. So what if any if I add any permissions to this group, those permissions will get these users. Okay. Next, coming to DFS. DFS means distributed file system. So to first we need to install DFS services. Click add, click next. See here, if you want to enable or install the services, click add roles and features, or else you can go here, manage, add roles and features. Either way is same. From here also you can install permissions. Click next, click next. So scroll down, expand the file storage, expand the files and iSCSI. Here DFS namespace. So you need to install this service. Install this service, DFS namespace. Okay, click next and add this also replication. Okay, click next. Click next and install. That's it. Click next. Restart if required. install. Okay, DFS is installing. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay, good. So it's hope you're all practicing well. If you have any issues in your practice, let me know so that I will help you out. If you try to troubleshooting, you need to develop the skill called troubleshooting. Try to solve yourself or use Google, or for coming to practice. If you have any doubt, refer my video. Still you're unable to do it, try to Google it. Still unable to do it, let me know. I'll help you. But don't give up. Try to solve yourself. Develop the troubleshooting skills. As an admin, you should develop admin troubleshooting skills. Okay, go to tools. Here, distribute DFS management. Click here. Okay, expand. Create, see here namespace, here replication. Right click on new namespace. Here you need to give a path. For example, server. Let me give this server. Administrator. So from here, now what is the server name? WinADC. Okay, browse WinADC. Win-ADC. Okay, Win-ADC. Check name. Okay, give the server. Click next. No, 1 second, cancel. First give this, let me add this server. Please mute yourself. WinADC. So first we need to add the servers to DFS. WinAD. Okay, WinAD. Please mute yourself, guys. If you don't talk, just please mute yourself. Unmute and talk, and after that mute. Okay, WinAD. win-ad, check name, win-ad. Okay. Click next. So here we need to give name. Okay. Some public name. I'm giving sales. Okay. Sales. Click next. Here you need to see how the path will be the /arn.com/sales. So we used to give this path to users to store their data. So this is domain-based namespace. Click next. Create. So we are creating a namespace called sales. Okay. Close. See, sales. Right now. Oh my God. One moment. Delete. Right click on it. New namespace. Win-ad. Click next. Sales. Here we need to edit. We forgot this. Okay. Edit. Click edit and give administrators have full access. Other users have read write permissions. You need to select this. Click OK. Okay. Then click. One second. Go back. Yes. Click OK. Click next. Click next. This is domain-based namespace, not standalone. It is a domain-based. Click next. Create. It's created. Close. Okay. Now we need to add a folders to namespace. We need to add a folders to namespace. So right click on it, new folder. Okay. So folder name sales1. Folder name sales1. And here you need to give the target. Here you need to give the target so that click add. What is the target? Browse. First, before giving the target, you need to create a folder here because in this server we have a lot of space. Okay. So I'm creating a folder here. Sales1. Okay. Sales here sales2. Let's give sales2. Here a lot of space. So sales2, sales3. Give sales3. Here 2. And here I want to create here also in this mission also sales1. Sales1. So first you need to share this folder to everyone. Read and write. Share. Okay. Next. Similarly, do the same thing here in this mission. Sales3. Everyone. Done. Here also. Okay. So now all 3 folders are shared folders now. Okay. Now adding the folders here. Now you need to give sales one. Where is the sales one? Sales one here. So what is the path here? win-ad slash sales one, right? Give the target here. Give target so that this, okay, sales one. Okay. Now add new folder, sales two. What is the target here? You need to add the target. Where is the sales two? Here. So sales to shared path win-adc slash sales. You need to select this path. Come and give the path. Okay. Now right click on it, new folder. Sales 3. Add target. Here come and give client, right? Client sales 3. You need to give the path. Okay. Click OK. So under sales, we created sales 1, sales 2, sales 3. But sales 1 coming from this server, sales 2 coming from this server, sales 3 coming from this server. Okay. Now I'm the outside user. Okay. My computer slash. Okay. You need to give the path to your users, means users in the company. You need to give ARN or smaller. Okay. .com slash sales. See, you need to give the employees to this path. Please save your data in 3 folders. So if you save here, for example, okay, I'm the user. I stored data here. Thank you. Okay. And I'm the storing here. Welcome. Storing the data. Is it again some random data I'm just giving? See, this is how I'm storing my data into these folders. But this data is going to different servers. I feel, oh, data is storing in one place, but these are data storing in a different places. Let's see each place. Go to D drive, sales 2. See, data is coming. Sales 3. See, data is coming. So user never know that where the data is going. But ultimately user needs whether he is able to store the data or not. He never bother. He doesn't bother about that, where it is going, how it is going. Ultimately he want to store data, his data, that's it. So here we can, instead of using disks in one server, we can use the disks from multiple servers. See, this is how the users usually access the path storing the data. But the data is going to various servers. So that is how we can utilize the storage space effectively using DFS service. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Any questions, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you all. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.